Hello all you champion pilots out there, it's myself, Critical Rock, and here we are with the chassis variant series with the Champion, one of my favourite heavy mechs ever created. It's a Star League classic, it's one of the all-time greats of the Star League era, kicking Amaris's ass, going right on through to kicking ass in the Succession War, even kicking ass over in clan territory, and then being used by the Conguards to kick the clan's ass. The Champion has never not been kicking ass. It's a fast mover, and it loves to, as you may have guessed by now, kick ass. So, this is the 1NB. This is the Royal variant, hence the lowercase b. PGI's website give it a capital B because they're idiots. So, the 1NB. I've mentioned how Royal variants work in the past, but basically what would happen is you would have a battle mech created for the SLDF, for instance, and it would have a particular loadout, but then you'd have a Royal variant that was only for House Cameron regular forces, so that thing would have all of the nice snacky stuff. Double heat sinks, would have things like more advanced targeting systems, totally different weapon loadouts, hence this 1MB being completely different from all the other champions out there. It would have access to better weaponry as well, and what would happen is you'd have the member state armies, which would be, you know, your likes of your Steiners and Davians and the likes, and they would get the standard factory variants that may not have come with double heat sinks or endo steel or ferrofibrous or any of those kind of things, so they would have a technological disadvantage against House Cameron, and that was done for a reason. That was to make sure that if any of the member states did decide they wanted to take over the Star League, the Star League forces would have more advanced equipment to defend themselves with. And so there was always this careful balance that was going on, you see. So the Royal variant, in terms of MechWarrior Online, might not seem like much. It has a single ERPPC and a single Gauss rifle, which is pretty good damage. It makes the mech essentially heat neutral, regardless of what map you're on. It's very rare you're going to overheat because your rate of fire with the ERPPC is quite low. The thing already has double heat sinks, so with the new patch, the heat dissipation's a lot better, and your Gauss rifle is obviously generating virtually no heat anyway. Big downside is the ammo. With the Gauss rifle, if you were going to use this, I would probably recommend more than 20 shots. You're going to run out of that pretty quick in a protracted battle. But most fights in MechWarrior Online don't last long enough for you to run out of Gauss ammo anyway, unless you're firing multiple Gauss rounds, as in Gauss rifles. A single Gauss rifle, maybe 20 shots is alright. Anyway, I had a look on PGI thing, and they have blown the hardpoints of this thing out of proportion. Basically, the left torso gives you 4 energy hardpoints, and the right torso gives you 4 ballistic hardpoints. So you can turn this thing into a real fucking nasty piece of work. That's for sure. I was surprised to read it. I thought the days of hardpoint bloat were gone, but no, the Champion 1NB, Christ. That thing is, that's got potential, that's for sure. I could definitely see this thing running with something like a couple of Rack 2s and a bunch of pulse lasers, something along those lines, with its speed as well. Wow. Yeah, that's a nice set of hardpoints you got there, buddy. So yeah, I was surprised to read that. Personally, I think this is actually one of my favourites, mostly because I like nice, simple, straightforward builds, and the 1MB is no real exception. And it was just as well, because Christ, this match was brutal. They were not fucking about. Their team, they had the right idea. Push out like one big mass and basically try and hammer us. And I honestly, in the early stage where I was caught out in the middle of them, I thought that the team was screwed. And then it all started to turn, and very slowly they started to get pushed back and beaten, and we started to, you know, chip them away. I mean, there was an archer that was definitely giving me a headache. He tore one of my arms off, then he started working on my side torso. I was getting really badly damaged. But yeah, it was all of a sudden it just turns in our favour. I don't know what happened. I guess maybe they stalled, or too many of them had taken damage. I don't know. Maybe there was an artillery strike I missed. Well, a couple of them that might have hit a bunch of them and did a lot of damage quite early on. But yeah, it was a good fight. It was nasty. I didn't appreciate the comment from one of my team about, like, oh, it went really well up until the point where you pushed or something like that. And it was like, wow, that's a bit snarky. Like, they could have very easily won. And with that level of coordination, frankly, I think they deserve to win this match. But yeah, this was a damn good drop, and I would recommend the 1MB, if not for the stock loadout, definitely for those hardpoints. Yeesh, pick that up for C-bills when it's available. Wow. Until then, this is the first of the chassis series for the Champion. Quite happy with that one, and hope you enjoyed it. It was short, sharp, and brutal. And I'll see you next time. Bye.